Welcome to Unapologetically You, an authentic journey to healing.
The podcast where we dive deep into the raw, real, and transformative process of embracing your true self.
I'm Jennie.
And I'm Ashley. Join us as we share stories, insights, and practical wisdom to help you heal, grow, and live unapologetically.
Whether you're on your own healing journey or simply seeking inspiration, this space is all about embracing authenticity without fear or shame.
It's time to make a move from your relationship
to a relation shift.
Well, when we think of dating out in the real world, like you have time to get to know, but you like it's a slow burn. Like
for sure,
right? And you're not having all of the. Well, some people might. You might have all of these options that you're choosing from, but most typically we don't. We don't have 10 other people that have our attention. So the dating in the real world is different because you have time to say whether you like someone or not.
Right.
This time is not on your side. So
mere attraction.
You got to be real,
or energy. They're known by like the vibe.
Well, here's what I pick up. You really got to listen to what your intuition is telling you. You really got to. You don't have time to question it anymore. You have to go with it because, like I said, time's not on your side. So that's the first part. Is I'm like, oh, maybe there's something to this because we've talked about we don't listen to that inner voice that pops up immediately.
Right.
You know, usually right away whether you're vibing with somebody.
Absolutely. And I still will question it sometimes because it's like if there's nothing wrong with the person, you still question like, well, maybe it's just me. But no, I think at the end of the day, your gut's going to tell you.
Yeah, immediately. And then we like to question it. I mean, like you said, like to test it.
But my thing is on this Love Island, is it their gut?
Not even in
Are they listening to their instincts or are they listening to something else? Then their sexual desire, right? So here they are. Now a new person comes in and they're like, ooh, you're hot.
Yeah. Here's the difference between attraction and an actual connection. So initially, it is that, who am I attracted to? So again, you're not going off of that, I'm going to get to know somebody. You go on a regular date with somebody, right? And you're like, oh, I'm going to get to know them. Maybe I'll learn to be attracted. Again, you don't have time on the show. So initially, it's based off of attraction.
Right.
That's how you're kind of like, oh, I like that person because they look good. And that continues until you actually start to be able to talk to them. But again, your time is limited in talking to them too because you're supposed to be talking to everybody and you're all living in this house together. So I think initially with this, they're thinking with
the sexual attraction, right?
Yeah.
I think it's more of a sexual attraction.
Yes.
I do believe, though, and even in the real world, we do pick up on people's energy, right? That vibe.
Yeah.
So how many times, this has happened to me.
Yep.
How many times will you feel like you vibe with someone or you're attracted to someone and you think to yourself, wow, that wouldn't be the typical person I would be attracted to. That happens to me sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like I am picking up more on, right, like that, their energy and what they're kind of throwing out. So in a show like this, some of it's sexual desire, but some of it's just that vibe, I think, that initial, like you're saying, that instinct, that vibe.
Yeah. Realizing is that like I was saying, I feel like they're picking more honestly.
Okay.
As opposed to we don't do that because again we'll second guess ourselves and we'll talk ourselves into something that's not working. And here, if it's not working,
and you're afraid to hurt somebody's feelings, then there's that, right?
Yeah.
Where this person's a good person, maybe I'll just kind of see where this goes.
Yeah. So they
you feel guilty sometimes to hurt someone's feelings.
Yeah, especially if you've gone out a few times and
they're not a bad person, right?
It's just not a right fit. So,
but on this show, you're saying they're like, "See ya."
If it's not there, it's not there, and they move on. And so
I kind of like that in a way.
I kind of do
I want someone to do that with me, right? Because if I'm dating somebody and initially they thought we had this connection and then realized we don't, I would rather them just let me go because, again, in the real world, how many people waste people's time?
A lot.
For just kind of keeping things going that maybe they know on some level it's not right.
Yeah, because they're bored.
And that's not cool.
Because
they need them in some way, but they're really not like they need them in some way, but they know that's not their person.
Yeah. Men and women, everybody's like, you guys think so differently, which we do on things. But here is what was very obvious. So if you're ever questioning if someone likes you, watch Love Island, because it becomes very clear. If a man likes you, he will 100% pursue you.
100%. See,
Without
I feel
any
like
doubt.
that
Without
wholeheartedly.
any doubt.
And every time, it goes back to one of our other shows, every time I feel that a man has pursued me, it works so much better, because I just think that's how men are naturally bred. That's who they are.
These men are having conversations, and how they're talking about how they're feeling. That was the best part for me, because you really see some honest conversations with dudes together saying like, no, I'm feeling this person. I like this person. I'm going for it. And if there's another guy pursuing that, they're like, no, I got to make my move. Like, there is no question, no doubt. They're not sitting over there being like, well, I'm going to wait till she comes up to me.
Right.
I'm going to wait. Now,
we second guess everything too. I don't think men second guess as much as women.
When they
do.
like someone, they like someone.
Right. And
It is that
they don't
clear.
wrestle with that like we do.
Clear. It is that clear. And if that is anything that I take out of this show, it is that.
Man wants you, you're not going to be confused. Listen, ladies.
Yes.
If a man wants you, you will not be confused. You will not be asking your best friend, does he like me? Does he not? If he likes you and wants you, I promise he will come get you.
It'll be very clear.
Period.
Oh, yeah. Men are like, that's mine. I want it, and I'm going to go
end of
get
the story. So I don't think you have to ask questions.
No.
If you're asking questions, that should tell you that man just may not be the one for you.
Correct. And let it go. Move
let
on
it go.
from it.
Move
and
on.
let him want you. Let him miss you.
You want someone that's really going to want you.
Yeah. I don't want somebody feeling weird about it.
But the wounded child in people will sit back and allow the crumbs and that behavior, because again, now that's a place of pick me.
If you are actively going to be going out and wanting to find somebody that you want to be in a relationship with, do so in a healed version of yourself, because you make really bad decisions dating unhealed. And
absolutely.
I saw
and if someone's crumbing you, that's not somebody that is going to make you happy in the end of the day.
No, because you're gonna have needs that aren't met, that you're gonna keep trying to chase from them, that they're not gonna be willing to give you.
And I think that chasing and that allowing crumbing, and that's for men too, that comes from a wounded place.
Oh yeah.
That's not coming from a
version
place of okay, I'm enough. I really want someone that's gonna want me. And vice versa. Like, you want to be with someone that you want.
Oh yeah.
How many people settle just to be in a relationship with someone they don't really want?
Yeah. And again, I feel like internally we know whether it's going to be a good relationship or it's somebody that we want. But because maybe they're still not giving us what we need, we'll keep chasing and pulling and hoping. And in the end, you end up disappointed anyways. And that's what this show brings out, because the women on the other side, because we analyze things a little bit more, there's more testing to see if a guy likes you. There's more like, I'm going to wait and see if they're going to pursue me, as opposed to same thing. Because you hear him talking, I like this person, I want to go for this person, but let me see if he pulls me for a chat. That's what they call it on Love Island. And so I'm kind of like,
who's been pulling you for a chat?
Yeah.
We'll be switching gears here in a minute.
My Love Island.
Ashley's Island.
Who's on the roster?
Been pulling you for a chat? I like that. I'm going to start using that line.
But you know what? Fellas, after watching Love Island, I know I want to be pursued, and I know
so
now.
So pull Ashley for a chat. But it's simple, but it's real, right?
It's
like, if you do like somebody, talk with them, have a conversation, see if there's something
time's
there.
Not on your side. I guess maybe start living that way, because time's not promised. Why don't you start approaching dating relationships as if time is not on your side? Because we talked about this in an episode with dating too, that there are rules that I don't know who put into place, that some reason we follow them, that things have to be done on a certain timeline.
Yeah,
but
no, you're right.
It's different
like,
for the
I better
individual.
not call this person. They're going to think I look desperate.
You said,
and that's
you got to wait 3 days before you call.
The 3-day rule. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's so stupid.
Where did that come from? But yet we follow it. We're waiting day 3. Did they text me?
But it goes back to people guarding their heart, because why do they follow it? They're afraid of getting hurt.
Pain.
They're afraid of looking foolish. They're afraid of being not enough. It goes back to a wounded place. place, though.
Absolutely.
There is a series on Netflix.
Ooh.
I have been watching. It's called Another Self. It's about these 3 women. They're best friends, but I feel like it's a good show for men too.
Okay.
Well, what this show is about is how we live out an unhealed version of ourselves until we start to realize the patterns that we have created in our life from a wounded place.
Yes.
Only then can you heal and change it. Again, the awareness once you realize it. But Another Self, check it out. It's on Netflix.
I'm gonna watch that.
Great show.
I'm gonna watch that.
I'm hooked on it.
It's so. How many seasons is there?
2.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say I'm on the 2nd season now.
Okay.
There's 8 episodes, so basically there's 16
Okay.
episodes total.
Another Self.
Another Self.
I'm gonna check that out. I love
Great show,
series.
and it's about what we're talking about.
me
It's
off for a
about the
little while.
unhealed wounds and how we operate from them in our day-to-day life.
We haven't hooked up to be in here recording in a little bit, so I feel like life has happened. So we're not coming in here with a topic, but when you and I have talked about, my past story,
Yes.
all the way back to childhood,
Yes.
and different relationships and pain and healing, and I've been trying to figure out this healing journey and how this works and how it changes how we operate in life. So not only looking at what am I seeing on shows that I'm watching? What am I seeing from friends? What am I seeing?
But I love
from
how you're
people?
watching with an as an observer.
I
No,
really
for real.
am.
Like
Yes.
you're now looking through different lenses.
Yes, trying to navigate how people go through this journey, and looking at a couple weeks ago, I had this major breakthrough in healing of decades.
Oh my gosh! So tell me about it.
Yeah, it was pretty.
That's deep.
It was I didn't expect it. I didn't see it coming, because here's the thing. I have, from childhood traumas and healing, or childhood traumas and trying to heal through that. I have always told myself, like, well, I'm healed from that and I've forgiven, and it doesn't impact my day-to-day life and how I go into relationships and things. I have told myself that story.
Okay.
But I have also carried around that story. I have made it part of how I operate through growing up.
So it's always there.
It's always there.
Okay.
And I realize now I've used it as a shield in relationships and with people, and I have used it. I have still carried around the identity from way back then. And I don't think, and this is the conclusion I'm coming to.
So when you say the identity, that wounded girl.
Yeah. And I don't think you can heal, because I feel like healing is a shedding of a past identity that is associated with that. And I don't think you can heal until you have stepped into a new version of yourself that no longer carries that story with you into the next chapter. It has to be closed. Not that it didn't happen.
Right.
But it has to become closed. And there's no truer forgiveness that's happening, and there's no truer, I've put it to bed, and I'm totally past that until you can close that out. And I realized I had not done that, even though I have told myself that I did. So I was able to, she watches this, so she's going to know, I was able to reconnect with my mom after a few years.
And we were talking about that one night out. You were telling me some stuff.
Yeah. But I went and saw her. I think it's been like 4 years.
Wow.
So they're closing down they're having a big auction, I think today.
Recently you had went to see her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a week ago.
Okay.
And so they're getting rid of, it's basically, here's what it hit me as of, when someone dies and there's a big estate sale, that's what it felt like, because they're getting rid of everything. So they were still alive, but it was, everything's going as if they weren't.
Right.
So I was looking at memories of my childhood.
And this stuff, right? I mean, like these things. Okay.
Yeah. And it wasn't the things, it was the memories of them.
Oh, right. For sure.
And I left there. I'm not crying on here.
No, but that's okay. You gotta allow yourself.
I left there crying, right? Uncontrollably sobbing. And I was like, I don't think I'd ever done that in that way with that story. And I realized, I wasn't angry anymore. I wasn't angry. I didn't have resentment. And I had an utter forgiveness for my mother.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I had this thing of like, we don't ever have to talk about the pain that was between us or things that had happened. I had an understanding and empathy for her, of her journey and her life, that allowed me to just, we're not perfect people.
No.
We make mistakes, we operate out of pain, and whatever her healing journey was that she couldn't have, it plays into how we act with people.
Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like also we all do the best that we can with what we have. So in those moments,
Yes.
she was just doing the best that she could with what she had.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always seem like it, I think, from a child's viewpoint.
Correct.
But then as an adult, once you have had so much adversity and have dealt with pain, you're like, damn, like I could see where this, like different pain points in people's life could really affect them and the way
Yeah.
they behave.
Yeah. Almost like I could finally relate to her in this painful level where I was able to, like, it was an instant, it was an instant, like, that's no longer part of my story. It is no longer part of who I am. It is no longer a deciding factor in how I think about things and how I approach relationships. It was truly it was done. It was like a release. It was done. And that identity that I had been carrying along for so long, it was like it was left with all of those things.
Because you are not that girl anymore.
No,
and
you're
so
to that
many
person.
times we go back in time and we still feel like that small child. People change.
People do.
Now, some people, you know,
Right.
I mean.
Right. We don't change everything, but people, you have to believe in the fact that people change, and you have to believe in the fact that you can't carry past things around with you.
Right. And
And
even if they don't change, you have to let go for your
You
own
have to
self
let
and
go.
your own healing.
Yeah. And it was like a weight.
Oh, actually, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
Years.
That's a beautiful
decades
story
of
for
carrying that.
others, though,
Yeah.
that are
Yep.
carrying a lot of pain from their childhood or trauma or holding a parent hostage. Oh my.
I couldn't have that came in God's timing. That was not like, and that's what I believe. So people are like, well, I just can't forget. Then maybe you're not ready. Maybe you're not ready. There will be a point in time, if you are truly working on your healing journey, that in God's timing, that will happen.
Absolutely.
At the moment it's supposed to. And what it then allowed me to do was then have a conversation with my oldest daughter and have to explain, like, I know there are probably things you're carrying around that you feel or you weren't happy with me as a parent.
Right.
And those feelings are valid and you're allowed to have them, but understand, and I told her, the story of everything. And I'm like, I've been operating out of being unhealed and out of pain. And so that obviously transcended onto you. And she had this, she's like, you're right. She's like, I'm not angry at you, Mom. So it is, it's breaking pattern. It broke a pattern.
Absolutely. It definitely did. And now for her, she's going to go into, motherhood and relationships differently because, again, you're talking to her. You're creating more awareness in her life.
Yeah. I don't think you can walk into a place of healing and who you're truly meant to be until you shed an identity that you have been carrying around.
Well, and like you said, almost stepping into a new identity. Who is it that you want to become? Because I feel like when you can visualize yourself a certain way and who it is you want to become, that is put on your heart for a reason. Yeah. That woman or that man that you're visualizing is who you're meant to step into and become.
Yeah.
You're not meant to stay small and play small.
No, I don't think so.
And carry all these heavy burdens on you. And
no, I don't think that's how God created us to be. And it's the same with if you're leaving a relationship, right? Because you're stuck in being, I'm angry at them and this is how they've hurt me, but I've moved on. Well, again, I'm like, have I moved on from that? Because I carry it into my dating and into these new relationships with people of I'm still carrying that identity that I was with that person from that pain. So I'm like, no, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. And I feel like I'm not going to get there until I can again release who that person was completely.
One of my biggest turnoffs when dating and with men, and I'm sure men can say the same about women, is when men are like, oh, women or you women. Instantly, like to me though, I'm like, oh, now they're putting everybody
In the
same
same
category. And I think, all right, he had some shit happen
Yeah.
and just hasn't really taken a look at it.
Right. And we all have done that.
Right.
So
And
you got
women do it too.
Oh,
But I
yeah.
think, again, that tells you instantly that that person is just not in a great place.
Yeah.
I'm
Because
like,
they're holding
yeah,
on
this
to
guy's not in a
something.
good
There's
place.
an anger there, or there's a
Right,
I've gotta-
resentment, and then they're going to push all whatever happened to them now onto you.
Yep.
Does it, you know?
Yep. So, speaking of who's pulling me for a chat.
Yeah, who is pulling you for a chat these days?
You know what's so weird is there'll be dry periods, and then there's dry spells, and then all of a sudden there's people like, and
Isn't
I'm
that
like,
funny?
ah,
It's like your signal,
yeah, and I'm
your
like
energy,
whoa.
throwing it out there.
But there's one in particular. I can't. I was trying to spend a lot of time figuring him out,
Okay.
and I was trying to spend a lot of time wondering, like, what's his deal? Does he like me? And I was getting to that point, and then I just finally am like, screw it. I'm going to be really honest about how I feel, because I was being very defensive. I was kind of being an asshole.
Oh, okay.
I was kind of being an asshole because I was defensive
Because you were getting mixed signals?
Yeah.
Is that why you were like almost on guard, thinking,
Yeah.
well, I'm afraid or whatever?
Yeah, but I don't think on purpose. I was
I got-
just
yeah.
like, yeah. So I was just like, oh, I finally had to be like, I've been an asshole, and I don't mean to be, but this is why. And you know, you can't get to know me if I'm on the
So
constant
you had told
defensive.
him I've been an asshole?
Yeah, I had
Okay,
to because
okay.
I had been.
So what did he say?
Poor kid. Well, I woke up to 17 text messages.
17.
Poor
What did
guy,
these
like, I
17
was like,
text
whoa.
messages say?
You know, very honest feeling.
Oh,
very
okay, I love it.
honest.
From
like
him.
this is what. Yeah, this
Okay.
is how I feel. This is
Oh,
where I'm
wow,
at. This is
okay.
the assumptions you've made about me that made. And I was like, oh man, like.
But I love that he was then, in turn, so honest back. Like you
Yeah.
came very authentic, but then I love that he gave that back to you, which is
100%
excellent.
gave that back,
So
which
it's-
then allowed me to be like, I just can not be approaching this person anymore with like, I could just approach like easy. Like, let me just get to know, because I feel like there is more of this person that I just don't know, and I don't have to put any pressure on it anymore.
Right. And there's no timeline. There's no, I mean, just enjoy him.
Yeah, it's
Get
not
to know
Love
him.
Island. There's no timeline.
Right, right. But
I
it's
mean, there
just-
is, but like, I don't have to feel like I don't have to feel a certain way about it. I could.
Listen to your instincts.
Yeah. Either way, I feel like this person will be such a like a great friend. Like, you know,
That's a good place
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So not going first time, not like looking at somebody with any type of expectations, and that's kind of like, because I feel like we jump into things with expectations on people.
we do. Yeah.
And then when they don't meet them, we're disappointed. But they had no idea we were coming into the.
Or we already know what we want, so we're more rigid and we're
Yeah.
not as open-hearted in giving somebody a fair chance.
Yeah.
Because sometimes maybe this person doesn't have everything you want. So, you know, I think we do that a lot where then we're like, oh, no, forget it.
Yes. Yeah. So we had the conversation. I know where he stands. He knows where I stand. And now I can just get to. So I think
I
that's
love
really
it.
important. Be very open and honest.
And I love how Ashley was saying she was authentic.
Yeah.
So she created him to be authentic. And
Yeah.
we come being ourselves and we're open, we're sure to get that back.
I
And
think
if
so.
we don't
Yeah.
get it back, I think we'll recognize it pretty quick,
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. I think.
Had he have responded with one text and just said, oh, glad you told me how you feel, or something like that, then you know, all right, well, he's not meeting me where I am. And
Exactly. He's not
So-
like taking my feelings into consideration. And I would have never thought that he thought those things that he was thinking. I would have had no idea had I not said what I said, and then obviously making him feel comfortable enough to reiterate back
Right.
what was.
Always be authentic, and then you'll know pretty quickly if that person and you are on the same page or not.
Yeah, I think that's
How
good.
did you meet, you and this guy?
Online.
Okay. So do you think long distance relationships could work a little bit further away?
I do. I think you have
Me
to
too.
be really comfortable in your own life, in your own routine and what you're doing, and then allow that to be part of it. I don't think you can go into a long distance and think about the future. Like, how are we going to see each other every
Right.
night? And how are we going to go on dates? And what does this mean? And like, how are we going to get married someday? Like,
Let it unfold. When you live long distance, it is important to FaceTime and
Yeah.
to, you know, have those chats, because if not, you could lose connection pretty quickly. I think you have to set those times where you can FaceTime.
You have to
or
be
you can
intentional
talk.
about your communication.
Intentional, and on some level, you almost get to like the meat and potatoes quicker because you
do.
talk a lot more
Yes.
opposed to doing activities.
And girl, I like long distance because I can watch my Love Island and
Absolutely,
nobody.
and be with your kids. And you know what? The last couple relationships I have had were long distance,
Yeah.
and they worked. It didn't stop
Yeah.
because they worked for the time being.
Do you think that works more for our age group? Because again, I think at our age, we know more of what we want and have
Right.
our lives more established. Then I'm not certain that works for that younger age group because they're still very reliant on a physical connection with each other.
I think it all depends.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I do think it's a maturity level thing because if
Yeah.
you're very immature,
And
I think
trust.
a long distance relationship
Yeah.
would be hard
Yes.
because there would be a lot of that insecurity and that checking up and that you have to be pretty grounded and confident and for it to work.
Yeah. And it's
And it's not
different.
always easy, especially as a relationship progresses. You do come to that point like, what are we going to do?
Mm-hmm.
Where is this going? Those questions come up sooner
Yeah.
when it's a long distance relationship once you start really catching feels. That has been my experience.
And it could end up being very unrealistic. Here's the where I'm at with it. I'm not anytime soon moving for anyone.
Right.
And I don't have any desire to ever have anyone move into my Zen home.
Right.
So, realistically, is that going to happen anytime soon with anyone I'm talking to long distance? No, but
Right.
I'm also very honest about that. Like,
Right. It's hard when you are raising kids to really merge your life with someone as to like living together
Oh, yeah.
and really making that
Been
life.
there,
It would
done
have to be
that.
so solid before you do that. I
I
don't know. When I
think
think of
you-
myself, like I think I would be open to living with someone at some point, but it would take time.
I think
mean,
you have to
having
form a
two
pretty
kids,
solid
yeah, I'm
friendship
not
with
just-
somebody first,
Yes.
right? I think that's where it
foundation
comes in. Yeah.
and really getting to know each other on a very deep level.
Yeah, like I gotta be able to poop with the door open, and I gotta be able to watch my shows, and I gotta be able to just not shower for 2 days if I want. Like, listen, I gotta be able to be me. Just giving everybody a real visual of my life.
TMI.
But it's true. Because here's the thing. Let's talk about it real quick because I know.
Okay.
Let's talk about it. This is my
like
fear.
crying.
This is my fear. Accidentally farting.
Oh.
I'm terrified. I have left.
What do you do? Get up and go in the other room?
I gotta go. Like, if I don't sleep. I don't sleep because I'm so afraid. So I feel like I'm a night farter. I know it is. I woke myself up. So my fear is that I'm gonna be on it a couple times, and I'm like, don't go to sleep. Don't go to
So what
sleep.
do you do? Keep yourself up all night?
Yeah, it's like a very light because I am not accidentally farting in front of somebody. I'm out of there because I'm a morning pooper. I gotta go. Like
Where's Ashley?
I gotta go. My stomach hurts.
Oh my God.
I gotta get out of there. So it's like it's so uncomfortable. So I need to.
Oh
get
my gosh,
pregnant.
that's hilarious.
Like, don't you have that fear? Do you fart in front of guys?
No. I just can't go there. I cannot go there. And here's the deal. I don't want him farting in front of me. Like, you do that, I'm not going to be wanting to have sex with you later. Out of the room.
So what did you? Were you? Jennie.
Yeah. 9 years.
As we get 9 years, like that is.
And we lived together. We were married for 7. We lived together for 8.
Damn. Well,
So, I mean, we were together.
something's wrong with my butthole then because like I hold it in like they just sneak up on me. Maybe it's a me.
You guys look into like butt kegels. I don't even know if that's like
I don't have a loose ass. I don't even know.
Well, if you can't hold. All right, listen. All right, real quick.
Oh, God.
Let's switch gears for a minute.
Okay.
Let's talk about cheating. Because
Oh,
with
the
my
scandal, the
clients,
Coldplay
but
scandal,
also
yeah.
with my clients, this has been coming up. I had a client
Okay.
who,
Oh my God.
great relationship she was in, or so she thought.
Yeah.
just had found out her husband was cheating. But the oddest thing of it all,
God.
they were still having sex.
Yeah,
They were
that's
still
shit.
doing things
Yep.
together, as in like going
Yep.
out, having fun. She is shocked and
She didn't see that coming.
devastated, did not see it coming.
Here's my view on it, and it could be wrong. I think people cheat, obviously, because there is a lack of something they're getting from the other person, or their unhealed version needs validation, their ego needs validation from someone else to make them feel good.
Well, when you're first with somebody, that person is
Right.
more
Right.
making you feel good, giving you compliments. The sexual attraction's at an
Yep.
all-time high. And then as life goes on, and
People
especially if you
change.
live together and you have your daily bills and your daily stresses, those things do change. But
Yep.
but I believe that is when your relationship can deepen and have
Mm-hmm.
more meaning. Not everybody looks at it that way.
Yep, it's not exciting
I
anymore.
do feel though in a relationship, whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, marriage, engaged, I do feel that you do need to have novelty.
Yeah.
I don't think, you and I had talked about this before, I don't think it's good to get stuck in a routine.
I don't think so
That
either.
is a
Yeah. You got to
killer. That is
date
an
somebody.
attraction killer.
Always. You should
Always.
be dating your partner, married, whatever.
And the attraction does change over time because it's not
Yeah.
as intense. I think with novelty, though, and things to look forward to together, you keep that chemistry more alive.
Yeah. Well, and it's about picking the right person from the beginning too, not rushing in or settling. Or I think we see this a lot with people that got together when they were younger. Because I'm not the same as I was in my 20s.
No, same.
So you
Yeah,
see
same.
a lot of divorce.
Not the same as I was 2 years ago.
No,
I mean, truly.
Right. So I think you see a lot of divorces from people that got married in their 20s that are now divorcing like now because they married somebody that had no life experience, that we really didn't. This is what we were talking about in Love Island, whatever it may be. There is a difference between an attraction to who somebody is and a true connection with who somebody is. And I think cheating occurs when that connection has been broken or never existed.
We search and yearn for parts of ourselves that were once there. So sometimes, let's say you're with somebody and they made you feel alive.
Yes.
Then I think what ends up happening as the relationship goes on, you don't feel that aliveness anymore. So you're searching for that part in yourself again.
Yeah, and you think so it's in somebody else.
It's in someone else, but really you have to create that aliveness in yourself. What makes you feel alive outside of a relationship? What brings you passion outside of a relationship? So that to me is so important, not to look for others for that, because I think that's where cheating comes in. Again, it's that searching for external validation.
Make them fall in love with all the new versions of you.
I love that.
But love all those new versions of yourself enough that...
And take time to find out who you really are. That is key. Who are you?
Yeah.
A lot of us don't
it
know
comes
who
right
we
down
are.
to that
so it
to
comes
begin
down
with.
to the self-discovery. Who are you?
Yeah.
Realize who you want to be and start stepping into and embodying that person.
Yeah, start acting like the person that you want to be.
I love it. Till
Yep.
next time.
I know.
This was a great chat.
See you guys next time.
Bye.
If you have a story you'd like to share, or if there's a specific topic you'd like us to cover on the podcast, we'd love to hear your ideas.
Get in touch with us through email or our social media pages. Links below.